Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to do a deck profile on the last Shadow Paladin deck that I have, besides the Witches one, which I'm probably not going to post because nothing changed except they got a new critical trigger to replace the Grim Revenger that I was running. So this is going to be the last Shadow Paladin, then we're going to be moving on to different clans. So this is going to be the Blaster Shadow Paladins, as you could tell by the name and the cards. This deck is going to be focused on Stride, so it's going to be similar to my previously posted Claret Sword deck. So I've actually had this one longer than this one. I've had this one since I built this deck since the Legend deck came out. So and I actually changed the alternate grade 3 up quite a bit. So the first grade 3 shown here is Phantom Blaster Overlord. I went with Phantom Blaster Overlord because he doesn't have to retire so much on the field just to get his effect. And because the deck has such a powerful unflip engine, as we'll explain later, the CB3 and Persona Blast is more, to me, it feels more like a CB2 and Persona Blast, if anything, just because of the unflip engine that exists in here. So he's got Blaster in the name, he's got Overlord in the name, he's got Phantom in the name. You could technically run Judge Bell. Actually, let me see, Judge Bell. Yeah, you can actually even run Judge Bell with him, and Judge Bell calls non-Revengers. That's hilarious. But yeah, Phantom Blaster Overlord, he's an older card. He was my original Shadow Paladin. First Shadow Paladin deck I built was the Phantom Blaster Overlord Cross-Ride deck that people said was terrible because Dote was so much better. But I stuck with him. I didn't get rid of him. I even pulled this SP one way back from my booster box. So, Phantom Blaster Overlord, original Season 1, Evil Ren used it. He's back in action because the Legend deck of Ren Suzuka Mori breathes so much life into this card. Still, almost you never see his effect, but he's a good Stride fodder and a backup to my other main grade 3, which, if you might have already guessed, is indeed Blaster Dark Diablo. So, literally, buy a Legend deck, you have 4 copies of this, and all you need is just a couple of extra cards that I swapped out. So for Blaster Dark Diablo, he is amazing with the Stride unit, the main Diablo Stride thing. So 4 of him, he's really good. Typically, if I had to decide which I prefer more, I prefer to have him as the main Vanguard over Overlord, just because of the Stride over effect of him to retire the opponent's stuff. It's just a better effect overall. This thing is easily guarded most of the time, and he's Persona Blast, and it's a heavy Counterblast 3 cost. So, I don't know. Originally, I was running the original Phantom Blaster Dragon. I didn't like the 10k defense. It was kind of lame. And obviously, I'm not going to run the Ride Chain in here, and there's so much better stuff. So, I went with him for now, but I may try changing it out. May put Phantom Blaster Dragon in or something. But anyway, that's the grade 3 lineup. Grade 2, 3, Knight of Nullity Masquerade. Another old card I've had for a long time. Always had 3 copies of this. Never ran 4, always had 3. And it just so happens like I have space to run 3 of them. So, basically when he attacks, if the Vanguard has Blaster in the name, he's 12k. He basically became a Revenger later on. But this is the one for the Blaster build. So, 3 Nullity. And then 4 Dark Knight Maiden Macha. She is the upgrade to the original Macha. She's very good. In fact, you can actually run her with Claret Sword. Like, she's perfect with Claret Sword. Only reason why I'm not running her with Claret Sword is because, of course, she's in my Diablo deck, or my Phantom deck, or Blaster deck, whatever you want to call it. So 4 of her in here, because from the Legend deck. Really good. You have to run 4 copies. Yeah, Claret Sword would benefit a lot from this card because it's not exclusive to Blaster. Speaking of cards exclusive to Blaster, so Bloodstained, Battle Knight Dorint. Dorint basically got upgraded to level 2 or grade 2. He got promoted. So congratulations, Dorint. You're now a 9k instead of 7. And he has an amazing effect he's part of the unflip engine. So basically, when you have grade 3 with Blaster, so either of these, doesn't matter which one, as the Vanguard, He is 11k, and then when he attacks and when he's boosted, if he's boosted by Claudus, so there's a new Claudus from the Legend deck, he gets to unflip a damage. So this is the unflip engine. Really good unflip engine at making Overlord's effect playable. But you just kind of have to counterbalance that with Macha, because Macha's going to eat Counterblast too a lot. So, and then the other grade, oh actually that was the grade 2s, because there was 3 of these. So that's the grade 2 lineup. Grade 1s, 4 Claudus, and this guy is an example of why Shadow Paladin is one of the most consistent. And their clan overall is filled with high quality units. There's very few bad Shadow Paladin units, and the fact that this deck is so easy to obtain, I'm surprised like people are still running all these other different decks, but I can understand why, because it would get redundant if everyone was running the same deck. But anyway, these two together with Blaster as a Vanguard, when these guys are attacking with GB1, this guy is a 9 boost, this guy is a 11 attack, so, you know, then if he's boosting Dorint specifically, he becomes 11k boost, so it's going to be 11 and 11, that's 22. That's a 22 column. So that's pretty good. 22 column. Standard 22 column. So, yeah. And then I am running the new Skull Witch Nemain. Or Little Witch Nemain, actually. Little Skull Witch Nemain. So she, I guess, got demoted or promoted or whatever. Because she's now grade 1 and she's now a Perfect Guard. And she's a unique Perfect Guard. She's the only Perfect Guard that does what she does. She doesn't actually unflip. That's actually a Cosmo healer. This one, she does a Nemain type of skill. So when you guard with her, when you guard with her and you throw one, if you have another one of this in the drop zone, you can draw a card, then choose a card from your hand and discard it. So pretty good. She'd actually be a pretty good tech card for Legion-based decks too. I might actually put her in the Witch deck eventually at some point, but since Witches are very heavy Legion focus, I like running the one Quinset Wall with the original Perfect Guards. So 4 of her in here for now. And then 3 of this new Charon. So he used to be AK Vanilla, now he's got an effect. Effect is actually pretty good. So he's your searcher, he's your typical searcher for Diablo, Blessed Dark Diablo. The only thing is, he's not stride fodder. He's more like basically his rearguard effect is when you want to pay the cost to retire something. If you have a grade 3 with Blaster in the name, grade 3 or greater, so it can be when you're sitting on this guy. You can he can be counted as 2 retires, 2 rearguards. So if you have to retire 3, for example, with Diablo's effect, he can count as 2 of them, so you only have to retire him plus something else. So it makes it's pretty good in that regard. So it's resource management kind of thing. It's a pretty good card. So 3 copies because the deck did come with 4, but I am only running 3. I took 1 out just to run 11 grade 2s because for some reason the Legend deck comes with 10 grade 2s and 15 grade 1s, which I thought was kind of dumb, but anyway, it's nice because they give you a playset of him, so pretty decent. And then next, one of my favorite new cards to come out of Legend deck. So Darkheart Trumpeter, she basically got promoted. She grew up. She got super powerful now. Her effect is so good. GB1. Her and Macha basically turn the deck into like a gold paladin, spam the field, fill up the whole field so fast, sort of thing. So she will usually get this guy to set up for the Diablo, so you only have to retire like him and her or something. So yeah, 3 of this. This is so good, and you know it's so good because the Legend deck only came with 3 copies. I'm running all 3 copies. So yeah, you already tell it's a really good card. And And the deck doesn't use any Soul Blast, so she's the only thing in the deck, as far as I know, that's Soul Blasts. That's probably the one thing that Shadow Paladin as a clan doesn't use. They just don't really use the soul too much. So speaking of soul blasting, the legend deck also includes Howl Owl. This is the Margle clone. So Shadow Paladin now has a Margle clone. It just so happens to be in the legend deck. So 4 of those, because it's good with her. And for obvious reasons, it's a Margle clone. And then 4 of this new critical from the legend deck. And the other critical was a Revenger critical. So I actually threw that into my Raging Form deck. So I am actually just running my extra Grim Revengers that were in the Witch deck. But they're not running these anymore because they got their new critical. So these are over here. And then I'm running this new heal that came in the legend deck. Flat Bow. Because my original trigger lineup is in my Claret Sword deck, so these aren't bad. And then the starter is Fullbau Brave. Just your typical GB1 skill, Counterblast 1, put him in the soul, search your deck for a blaster, a grade 3, actually, any blaster. It can be anything. If you have Blaster Dark, you can search Blaster Dark. So search for 1 card with Blaster. So typically he will, depending on what your grade 3 is, because when you're on GB1, obviously you're all going to be on grade 3. So that's why I'm running Overlord, mainly because of this guy. So he will search your Persona copy. Or if you're on this guy, it doesn't matter, just search whichever one. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. This deck was actually surprisingly easy to build, super easy to build, especially for me, somebody who collects all the cards over time. So it wasn't hard at all to just throw in my Overlords and throw in my 12k grade 2s and all that stuff. So like I said, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, stay tuned for more Cardfight Vanguard videos. Oh yeah, I forgot to do the Stride deck. Whoops. So 4, it's pretty easy, pretty predictable. For Diablo, he's really good with his deck. Specifically, it's designed to work with him. Should be 2 Grim Recruiter, but Grim Recruiter and the Dark Knight, and then 1 Atmos, 1 Blizza. You almost never use them, but they're in here anyway. So anyway, guys, that's the deck. And like I said, if you like this video, stay tuned for more Cardfight Vanguard videos, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks.